Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. I'm Stacia, I'm a certified personal trainer, and I'm so happy to have you here. Today we're going to be talking about how to lose weight fast and sustainably. So the very first thing that I'm going to ask you to do is grab a pen and paper. If you really don't like writing things down, grab your phone and write down why you're doing this in the first place. And let it be deeper than just wanting to look better in clothes or wanting to get in shape for a trip or whatever. Let it be something that really can move you and something that you can rely on in the journey ahead. I also think it's really important that we understand what our weight entails. And these are going to be broader categories. You can always get more specific, but looking at the broader categories, we're going to have intra and extracellular water, body fat mass, and your skeletal muscle mass. I want you to completely forget about the scale. If your gym happens to have, say, an in-body machine, I feel like that's pretty standard, or if they have a DEXA scan, that'd be amazing. Not a lot of gyms have that. You can, depending on your area, go get one though, and I highly recommend doing that. That way you'll be able to get a clear idea of what your body fat mass is and what your skeletal muscle mass is. In order to lose weight as fast as you can sustainably, we're gonna do something called body recomposition. I feel like it's one of those, topics within the fitness community that's kind of blowing up right now, and I think that's amazing. So we're really going to focus on recomposing our body rather than following, a traditional bodybuilding style of training where we're bulking and cutting and bulking and cutting and so on and so forth. Not to say that that isn't valid. There's a time and place, but if you're not a bodybuilder and you're not into that kind of training, I think doing a body recomp is a little bit better and more sustainable and easier on your body, and I think better for you in the long run. I want you to know that it's going to feel counterintuitive. If you have traditionally, been someone who's constantly checking in on the scale, know that this is going to be very frustrating and you're going to have to go against every instinct that you have built into your consciousness. Whenever we're recomping our body, we are simultaneously building muscle while losing fat. And you kind of have to find a sweet spot. So typically I'd say if you're able to work with a trainer, you might see success and really start to see a big change in your body maybe around month 4 to 6, just depending on, how you already look and feel, what your nutrition was like before, what it's like now, the kind of sleep you're getting, and the type of training that you're doing. So know that this is something that isn't one size fits all. It might take you 3 months, but it also might take you a full year to find the changes, especially if this is something that you're doing for the first time without any help. This isn't something that you necessarily need to source out. If you're on a budget or you just want to do it on your own, which I think is completely valid, there is no right or wrong way to do it, but just know that it is something that is going to take time. However, those results that you get because you spent the time doing it are going to be way more sustainable in the long run and something that you're going to be able to maintain throughout your life. I always recommend seeing a dietitian or a nutritionist if that's something that is available to you. They are the experts. They have literally studied and made this their career. Their life's work is in this field. Follow their advice. Ideally, a registered dietitian, preferably an evidence-based dietitian that's always referring to studies rather than theories. That's my advice. Not that theories are bad. I'm going to link a video down in the description box from Abby Sharp. She's one of the registered dietitians on YouTube that I really like and that helped me in the beginning of my fitness journey a couple of years ago. And she honestly helped me heal my relationship with food because I definitely had disordered eating habits in the past and have since healed that. I'm also going to be linking a channel called Mind Pump that I highly recommend you listen to. There are 3 trainers who have, I think it's over 50 years of experience combined. Maybe it's 100. I don't know. They're not that old. maybe it's not 100, but they have a lot of experience training clients and working with people and helping them achieve their goals, and everything that they say I'm totally in alignment with. So highly recommend that channel. It's also a podcast, so if you don't necessarily want to watch a video, you can go anywhere that you stream your podcasts and listen to their work. Again, it's Mind Pump, and they'll be linked below as well. It's going to be crucial, absolutely crucial, that you're intaking enough protein. Oh my gosh, protein.
Okay.
Literally, if I have to be the one that you have in the back of your mind screaming protein, I will. I say if you happen to know what your ideal body weight is, and I can speak from my own personal experience, say you've put on some weight, but you've been really in shape or really fit in the past, I say eat the amount of grams of protein of your goal weight. And I say that very loosely. Very loosely. However, if you don't really know what that number is, my suggestion is to take 0.8 grams to 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight that you currently have. So say you're 160 pounds, I want you eating roughly 160 grams of protein every single day without fail. If there's one thing that you track, and I honestly advocate this as being the only thing that you track, especially if this is your first time, and even if this isn't your first time in fitness, track the protein. Hit that number every day. I want to say no excuses, but there's always an excuse, but really try to stick to it every single day. It's hard. You'd be surprised how hard it is, especially if you are coming from a more processed diet, or if you come from a place where you've been eating out a lot. Getting whole food based protein is really challenging. If you need to supplement with a protein shake, I definitely recommend it. If you're interested in some recommendations, let me know, and I can do a whole video on supplements. And then I want you to intuitively figure out what your carbs and fats are going to be. My one request is that those carbs and fats come from whole foods only. So anything that comes in a wrapper, anything that's processed, if you can't pronounce an ingredient or at least know what the ingredient is on the back of it, we're not going to put it in our body. We're not going to do it. I promise you that is enough in the beginning to start to see progress and start to feel better. And finally, what the heck are you going to be doing in the gym? So we want to find you a program that is progressively overloading your training, meaning that we're constantly adding a new stimulus every 2 to 3 weeks, because the body is smart. The body is smarter than you. It's going to recognize the pattern, and your training, if you're not introducing new stimuli, might start to plateau. So that's why you see a lot of people who also get so frustrated because they've been in the gym for years and they saw a lot of progress in that first year, but they've been doing the same routine, same weights, and don't see any progress. So make sure that you're constantly changing the stimulus every few weeks or so. And that way you'll be able to continue to make progress and progressively overload and get stronger. And getting stronger is going to be key. So as you're doing this process and as you're recomping, if we're speaking in terms of calories, ideally you're about, I'd say, 200 to 500 below your maintenance. So we are technically cutting, right? However, it's not a drastic cut. This is just slightly below whatever it takes for your own body to maintain. If you happen to know that number, cool. If numbers are something that are really triggering for you, forget it and just hit that protein every day and then eat whole foods around that. Ideally, if we're body recomping successfully, our body is going to be using the nutrition, so the protein that we're eating, to build muscle, and it's going to use our fat as the energy to carry out the building process. So that's essentially what a body recomp is. And there is a sweet spot. It is tricky to find, but if you follow some of these tips and continue to do your own research, I guarantee that you are on the path to success. And if you have any questions, thoughts, comments, all the good things, please put them down below and let me know if you want to see anything else in the meantime.